Live from Radio Row at the Super Bowl at the Happy Hour desk, Lawrence Jackson, Matthew Berry, and fantasy superstar Trey McBride. No tight end in the NFL had more games with 20 or more fantasy points this year than Trey McBride. Set an Arizona franchise record for most receptions by a tight end in a single season. Top 5 in the NFL in terms of most receptions by tight ends overall. Dude, what a great season.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun just to get that opportunity towards the end of the year. It kind of started a little slower than we'd like, but towards the end of the year it was rolling, and I was getting a ton of catches and trying to do everything I could so Kyler would keep throwing me the ball, and that's what I was doing. So
very smart, very smart. Always good to make your quarterback look good, which you did many, many times.
You certainly earned his trust, especially over that back half of the season, like you said, and still being a young tight end in the game. We're seeing a lot of first and second year tight ends like yourself, Sam Laporta, Isaiah Likely, Kincaid. It wasn't like that, 5-10 years ago. Right. What do you think has changed recently with that?
I think just the position's changing, right? It's not a position where you're putting your hand in the ground and blocking 50 times a game anymore. Now it's a position where you need an athletic guy that can go out there and be a matchup nightmare for safeties, for linebackers, and I think that's where the position's going to. And we have a lot of young guys that are talented, like you said. Isaiah is in my class. You got it. Right. I mean, there's so many guys that are underrated and don't get the recognition they deserve, but are very good players.
You mentioned the connection with Kyler Murray. Obviously, we're looking forward to a full season with both you guys.
No doubt.
You guys out there. I want to ask you, this might be a little bit of a thinker of a question, but I believe targets are earned, that they're not scheme. Sometimes you'll scheme up somebody open, but ultimately the targets are earned out there. That, Kyler's like, who's open? Trey's open, I'm going to Trey, right? Whatever. Marquise is open, I'm going to Marquise, Rondell, wherever he's going. So I'm just curious, is there something that clicked in for you in this offense with your position coach or with Kyler or whatever that allowed you to get, candidly, so many receptions, so many targets? You earned a ton over the second half of the year.
It was just the opportunity, like you said. I had one good game. We played the Falcons, and I think that was one of Kyler's first games back, and I had a really good game. They played a ton of man-to-man coverage that we weren't expecting, and Kyler kept coming back to me, and I kept making plays for him. Going into the next couple weeks, I just kept getting more and more and more catches, and I kept catching them for him, and he just kept throwing them to me. So it just became a little thing, 3 or 4 games in a row where I'm having 10 targets. It was a lot of fun. But like you said, I definitely think they're earned. That trust from Kyler, that chemistry, everything that kind of comes with that trust for sure.
8 for 131, by the way, in that specific game against the Falcons. 8 for 131.
And I think a lot of the reason why Kyler has that trust in you now, because when you get into the scramble drill,
doubt.
You know how to adjust to that, and you know how to find him and help him find you. Speaking of a game, you went off another one, 10 catches, 102 yards, your last game versus the 49ers. So, but you guys obviously didn't win that game. You had a good game, but what makes playing that defense in your division, what makes playing that defense tough?
Yeah, they're a tough defense. They're guys that are talented from top to bottom in that roster. So they're very good, and it's you never know what you're going to get. You like I said, you're on one side, you get Nick Bosa, and if you get lucky, you don't get Nick Bosa, then you got Chase Young on the other side. So 2 phenomenal players. You got 2 of the best linebackers inside with Greenlaw and Warner. So phenomenal defense, and guys play really hard. So I'm excited to see how they do against the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs have a pretty good tight end themselves, right?
No
in Travis Kelce, George Kittle on the other side, 2 of the best in the game, going up against themselves. How do you see this game playing out, Trey? Do you have a pick?
Like you said, I'm super excited for the tight ends. This is 2 of the best tight ends in the league, and for me, I play the 49ers, twice a year, so I'm kind of pulling for the Chiefs. You don't want the
Super Bowl champion in your division.
You don't want the Super Bowl champion in your division, no doubt. But for me, I'm just excited to see these 2 tight ends go head to head. These are 2 of the best in the game, and I hope they both have 300 yards. That'd be the game I want to see.
Yeah, well, you certainly on your way to that type of production as well. And speaking of production, despite not, starting fully until week 8, you had Zach Ertz. He's a respected veteran. Despite not starting till then, you still racked up 81 catches, over 800 yards. So let me ask you this. With a full season, a full healthy season with Kyler Murray, Give me a little stat prediction. What the numbers going to be looking like
definitely
around there?
Yeah, we need to get over 1,000, right?
Yeah.
We need over 100 catches
sir.
and 1,000 yards. So that's the goal. You know, we want to get that 1,000-yard season, and hopefully we're scoring 10 or 15 touchdowns too. That's the goal. So no, Kyler's a tremendous player, and I'm super excited to have a full year with him and see what we can do.
Yeah.
Speaking of next year, Trey, when you did your exit interview with Coach Gannon and everyone else there at the staff, did they talk to you about expectations for next year in terms of your role in this offense?
Yeah, obviously, you know, they tell me what I need to work on. They want me to be a better run blocking. They want me to be a complete tight end that can, you know, they don't have to take off the field. They can, you know, leave me on there or you go run block, go catch balls, do it all. So that's the big thing that I'm trying to be. I want to be a complete tight end, a guy who they don't have to take off the field. I can go run block, I can go catch balls and do it all for them. So that's what I'm trying to do.
By the way, fantasy managers would love that as well. We would love you to never leave the field. You're going to be drafted high and early. I have you, I'll just tell you, I have you as my tight end 4 next year. You tell me if I'm wrong. Here's who I have ahead of you. I have Laporta, Kelsey, and Mark Andrews.
Yeah, you might be wrong. Hopefully I can prove you wrong.
Yeah.
So that's
I would love it. I would love it.
I have them too, but I have him ahead of Travis Kelce.
We'll see.
I like it.
Because Travis Kelce, he didn't quite get the 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
And you know, like he said, he trying to get that 1,000 and 100 catches. So in there, I only had you in one league, but this one league I really needed to win, like for the money, for the bragging rights, all that. You came through for your boy, so I appreciate
you. Bro. I got you, man. That's good.
Trey, we were talking a little before the show, and I asked you, have you ever played fantasy football before?
Yeah, I have. You know, growing up, that's like I feel like everyone wanted to play, and I haven't played recently. But
that's because you get to play real football.
Yeah. So, but I love playing. I think it's cool. I think it's fun drafting a team, kind of being the general manager, and see how easy it is. It's really not as easy as people think. You know.
No, it is certainly not. How often does fantasy football come up in your life? To your friends, fans, when they recognize you on this, you know,
all
and talk to you?
That's probably the most. You know, people come up to me, man, thank you, Trey, so much. They either love you or they hate you. It's one of the two. And you know, when they love you, it's fun. You know, because they'll come. But when they hate you, man, they're mad at you for losing their game or something. So it's you know, it's part of it. But it's a lot of fun. Fantasy's a great thing, and I think it's a cool thing to keep.
Yeah.
Going.
By the way, if they're hating you, it's just because you know. You blame the craftsman, not the tool, right?
Doubt,
you know,
exactly.
Doubt. So yeah, don't take that seriously.
They'll hate you because they're going against you when you racking up them numbers.
That's right.
I'd make a prediction. I bet no one says anything negative to you in person.
Yeah.
Like when they meet you in person, it's all
no
love,
doubt. Yeah,
right?
Doubt.
It's just when they're online or they're trying to DM you or whatever. Then
No doubt.
All right, last question for us right here. We're in Vegas, and so you know, if you were you're a young guy. If you were gonna have your hangover type night, your type weekend, what's a teammate that you're bringing with you to Vegas to party all night, and who's a teammate that you're leaving behind that isn't ready for Vegas?
That's a good one. I'm probably got to bring someone young and with a lot of money is my guess. So the guy that comes to mind is our first round draft pick last year. Maybe we bring Paris out here and see what he can get himself into. Leaving behind, I don't know who I'm leaving behind. Maybe that's hard, man. That's a hard one because I love them all, but I don't know. Maybe.
You're going to make somebody mad.
Yeah, I'm going to make someone mad. So
maybe Coach.
Yeah, maybe Coach. We'll leave Coach, so he doesn't know what we're getting ourselves
he
doesn't
need to say anything.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good one. Yeah, leave Coach behind. Bring Paris so he can, has a big wallet for us.
There you go. Get you guys in everywhere as well. That is a clutch veteran move. Trey McBride, a fantasy superstar. We love you here at the show, and continued success to you, my friend.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.